It's been 1 year since the University of Miami Engineers Without Borders Peru team traveled to Ica, Peru, and a lot has changed.
Starting with the work of 2 University of Miami professors, our relationships with 3 communities in the valley, Casablanca, Waimani, and Rancheria, have matured, and we have developed invaluable friendships with many of the village members.
This was an extremely unique and diverse group with a range of majors from geology, finance, psychology, Latin American studies, and engineering.
Shortly after arriving and settling in, it was time to get down to work. This time we had come with a plan and specific goals we hoped to achieve by the end of our week-long stay. Following widespread agricultural land reform in the late 1970s, many of the farmers of the Ica Valley switched crop production schemes from native crops to the water and pesticide-intensive crops that we see today, like corn and cotton. These products promised wealth, prosperity, and a lucrative future that most farmers are still waiting to see the benefits of.
Not only did the new crops fail to create the economic prosperity that the farmers had hoped for, but the newfound need for flood irrigation methods that these crops demand put an even greater strain on an already limited water supply in this desert region.
On a previous trip to the Ica Valley, a group of students discovered Luis Valdivia and his inspiring story. Luis recognized the increasingly grave reality of the lack of irrigation water in the Ica Valley.
Over the course of 4 years, using just his creativity and endless rounds of trial and error, Luis successfully designed and built his own version of a drip irrigation system. His design was comparable to that of technologically savvy versions around the world, but unique in that it only required simple farm tools, a minimal investment for materials and installation, and no need for electricity.
Mire, ingeniero, así vayan armando ya. ¿Ya? Así,
Instead of
armen ya
Teflon
yo para ponerlo.
plastic bags. That's why you recycle.
But despite Luis's innovative creation, his model was too remote for the rest of the valley to see. When we visited, Luis's inspiring story moved us to spread his simple yet effective model down the valley to a more visible location. After months of planning and fundraising, we were excited and determined to return to our friends in Ica and attempt to implement a pilot project that would demonstrate the feasibility and adaptability of Luis's design.
Before implementing our own project, we spent the day under the tutelage of the master himself, learning the intricacies of his system so that we could adapt it to another plot of land. The design was simply ingenious. One main water line brought water from the water source to the field and fed several smaller lines that provided the water to each individual tree. The majority of the system was buried underground, but each tree was served by a sprinkler head emerging from the ground at the tree's trunk. These sprinklers provided water 360 degrees around the tree, spraying water at the outer edges of the roots in order to encourage growth, fruit production, and to maximize water use.
What are you doing just sitting around?
Emptying dirt out of my shoe and taking a break from all the picking and shoveling.
Pretty hard work, eh?
Really hard work.
Though hot sun beat down on us all day long, and the evening reprieve from the heat welcomed hordes of more than friendly mosquitoes, our afternoons under the avocado trees, bonding and sharing stories with our Peruvian friends, made the intensive manual labor not only successful, but actually fun.
About a week after we began our adventure, we had completed the installation of a pilot system that provided water to over 100 avocado trees. There now exists a model of Luis's design on a plot of land that nearly everyone passing through the valley can see.
During our 1 week alone, several curious members of various villages stopped by our project site to learn and ask questions about how this system might benefit their own crops.
Whereas many engineering projects are focused on the successful completion of a functional project, our work in Ica had a different focus. Even though our primary goal was to install a functional system, it was more important to us to arm these farmers with the tools and knowledge of this agricultural technique, enabling them to continue building such systems even after our group returned to the United States.
1 year ago, when we arrived in the Ica Valley and worked to bring clean drinking water to one of the villages, we never could have imagined that our work here would evolve into such an integrated system. But even more surprising to us all has been the continued relationships that we have built with the communities in the Ica Valley. Over the course of our visits, we have integrated into the most important facets of the communities. We are no longer merely foreigners, but friends and members of wonderful groups of people.